More than any other city in the world today, Los Angeles, California, and its surrounding communities have evolved into a vast desert of pavement and concrete. Through the years, in order to support its economy and massive growth of suburbia, Los Angeles has built possibly the largest freeway system in America, if not the world. With little regard for function, history, or uniqueness, the land, as well as older buildings, have been bulldozed to make way for new and more efficient modern structures. Let us not forget the growing number of parking lots to house the huge number of cars in the area. For Los Angeles is a city designed to be utilized by the automobile. Now, if you've ever been caught in one of our famous traffic jams, you may be thinking, badly designed to be utilized by the automobile. The reality of modern-day Los Angeles makes it a rare thing to discover an oasis of green in what is now a mostly paved-over Los Angeles basin. However, nestled in Gardena, a suburb of Los Angeles, there is a magical place full of tall willows, water features, native plants and animals, not untouched by man, but restored to its natural state by him. This is the story of the Gardena Willows Wetland Preserve. The Gardena Willows Wetland Preserve is one of the last remaining natural wetlands in the Los Angeles area. It is part of what was once known as the Dominguez Channel or the Dominguez Slough. These wetlands, consisting of hundreds of square miles of streams, mudflats, and marshes, diverted rainwater runoff from an area south of Los Angeles, which currently encompasses the communities of the South Bay. Consisting of 13.6 acres and bordered by Vermont Avenue and Artesia Boulevard on the east and south, and to the north by Arthur Johnson Park. The Gardena Willows Wetland Preserve has become more than a promise of an interesting stroll through a nature park. As you will see, Gardena Willows Wetland Preserve has become the inspiration for community involvement from individuals and businesses alike. It has also become a link to the history of the city of Gardena and to a greater part of Southern California as well. The indigenous people of this region, the descendants of which are shown here in this photograph, were known as the Gabrielino Indians, named for the mission San Gabriel. The name they call themselves, however, are the Tongva, and is the name preferred by the tribe. The Gabrielino Tongva of the Dominguez watershed area are of the Uto-Aztecan linguistic group. They use the Willows wetland for sustenance and would ply its waterways in canoes made of tule. They would trade with other tribes along the wetlands as far as the sea. Their territory also included Catalina Island, which lies 26 miles off the coast of Los Angeles.
Those of us that live in urban areas don't really have a real appreciation for the fact that you actually could live on the stuff that naturally grows around here. When you think about it, the native people, the Tongva that lived around here, had to get everything that they needed, everything for their, from their clothing to their boats to their food, and so they knew about a number of native plants. Everything from roots. For example, you don't think of tules as being something you could eat, but when they're very young, you can dig up the roots, and the roots are very good. You can steam them or fry them, cut them up a little bit, and cook them, and they're very delicious. The young shoots are also good, so they're maybe taste a little bit like asparagus, and you would steam them and eat them. The people that lived here, the natives that lived here in California, really did have a pretty nice living. They had the bounty of the sea. They had the fish and the shellfish. They had all the things growing around here. They had, of course, rabbits and deer and game as well. So it was a pretty nice living. This is truly the land of bounty.
Presiding over a blessing of the land ceremony, Linda Gonzalez, a member of the Gabrielino Tongva tribe, utilizes native ritual prayer, song and dance to guide the Friends of Gardena Willows Wetland Preserve through a blessing performed at the Willows Preserve. The first European explorers to this area would have come upon a narrow ribbon of bright green vegetation unfolding for miles through the muted and soft tones of a coastal prairie. Exploring further, they would find a sinuous inland stream of fresh water that meandered lazily to the mudflats of San Pedro. One can get a sense of how it appeared in this inlet that feeds Machado Lake, which lies south of Pacific Coast Highway. Indeed, until the early 1920s, depending on rainfall, one could make the trip from Gardena to San Pedro if he could carry his boat across Main Street Boulevard, which was one obstruction to the waterway. RB Media Works, all rights reserved.